Hello and welcome to a special Kickstarter preview from Dad vs. Daughter. I'm Tim the Dad.
I'm Mecca the Daughter.
And today we are previewing Ironclad.
This is by Alcyon Creative.
Yes, this is a kind of a campaign-based co-op where you are going to be working together on a ship and you're going to be trying to get from point A to point B, and some things that can happen between those cosmic events and other things that kind of mess with the ship. I think they've even got marauders and such. So what we're going to do, this is not like our normal videos. We're actually going to show you how to play the game without actually playing it on camera. So let's see what it looks like.
Ironclad features a main campaign of 10 scenarios separated in 2 acts. Act 1 spans 3 scenarios, while Act 2 is 7 scenarios long. Afterwards, players will follow the path dictated by their choices so far, playing the 2 endgame scenario of the factions they chose to support along the first 10 scenarios.
The Ironclad board shows the state of the ship at all times. It shows our turn track up at the top. It shows where on the ship we might have any damage, whether it be the bridge, weapons, the reactor, or the hangar. It shows the morale of the crew, as well as what our crew complement is, the health of our hull, any salvage that we may have obtained through the course of our campaign, the energy for our different systems, the amount of ammunition that we have for our main guns, and then any cargo or modules that we may have collected through our travels. You can see, for instance, this gear will add 2 to our weapons. The campaign book will guide you on how you should set up each one of the different scenarios. It will tell you which intel markers to place on the boards, as well as which ones of the sector modules to use. Plus, it will tell us which characters to put on the different systems of the ship. For instance, I have Thaddeus and Wraith manning the weapons. I have Daksuk on the reactor. Megan has Gabrielle and Xavier on the bridge as our pilots. And then we have Naruko in our hangar. The orders for the different areas of our ship are broken out into 3 sections. We have the standard orders, which can be used once per phase. We have the complex, which can be used once per encounter. We have the heroic, which can only be used once per campaign.
So your hero cards have different symbols that represent different things. So as you can see on Gabriel's card, you have the recruitment cost, faction, hero's rank, skills, their name, class, flavor text, and special abilities. Now as you can see on Gabriel's card, you have those 4 symbols on the side. The first one is leadership. To lead a group is demanding, and to lead a crew inside a metal ship drifting in outer space is extraordinary, as you can see with Gabriel. The next one is combat. From pistols to assault rifles, heavy weaponry is in close quarters combat. The hero is an experienced warrior. The next one is piloting. The ability to operate and perform during maneuvers with a ship of any kind. And the last one is operate. Using tech from a mere computer to a ship's turret, or operating mechs and land vehicles.
Many of the hero cards have special abilities which have to be exhausted in order to use them. In Thaddeus's case, he has the Semper Fidelis special ability, which says exhaust Thaddeus to prevent 1 crew loss. So when we exhaust them, this is very similar to tapping in other games, but we have tokens that we will place on those characters that show they are exhausted. If we further exhaust them or do a heroic action or other such things, we can flip that over to show that they are wounded. Now they'll be able to take care of this whenever they rest. There are 3 possible actions that we can take on our turn. Recon means that we select an intel token placed on an adjacent sector and reveal it. You can now see what intel you will have to resolve when you visit that sector. Move to an adjacent sector. Moving to a sector with a face-down intel token is risky, yet legal because it is a blind jump. Moving to a sector instantly reveals the intel token, which players have to immediately resolve after resolving the cosmic conditions, if there are any. And finally, we can have rest and recreation. We may select and rest up to 2 of our exhausted heroes, which means that we will remove the exhausted token from the hero.
When you move to a new sector, the intel token is revealed. You'll first resolve the cosmic condition if the sector features a cosmic condition, and then the intel card specified by the intel token. Ending your move action on an empty space sector means that the Ironclad won't suffer any special conditions, and players resolve the intel card immediately. Finally, if your move action ends on a planet or space station, you may dock your battleship and use the spaceports or city services. When players first arrive at a planet or space station, they may use up to 2 services from the available service. Additionally, players may spend another action to remain on the planet and use 2 more services. This, however, means that players lose precious time.
Each space on the sector module has a different cosmic condition that we have to resolve when we first move there. There is a cosmic condition card that we will reference whenever we want to figure out what it is we need to do. Each of the cosmic conditions have different consequences for moving into the space, which are located on the sides of the cards. The number of actions that we can take on our turn are determined by what our morale and our crew level is at. When we begin the game, we start on morale 4 and crew on 7, which you can see gives us 2 actions. When we take an action on our turn, we flip over one of the action tokens to show that it has been taken. When our ship suffers damage, we roll this die to determine where the damage occurs. For instance, a roll of a 6, we lose 1 crew. A roll of a 2, we would take damage to our weapon section. When a specific area of the ship has been damaged, we take one of the boards here and we put that there to show that that has been damaged and there are repercussions that we have to deal with. For instance, the weapons are going to suffer a -1. If that section suffers further damage, we simply flip that over and show the increased damage and the increased repercussions. When we resolve intel, we consult the intel cards to find out what it is we need to be successful. It will often tell you what you have to roll in order to gain the benefits. To resolve this encounter, we have to exhaust one of our pilots. We also have to roll a 3 for a success. However, if we exhaust an additional pilot, we get to add 1 to our roll. There are quite a few different encounter cards you could have with this game. You have the probe, we have sickness, friendly outpost, sabotage, bad intel, minefield, trading outpost, a derelict ship, ancient relic, a signatures detected, and then these are double-sided too. So we have space dementia. I forgot what that one was. That's just a little joke. Alien infestation, infiltrated, mutiny, space leeches, system failure, distress beacon, enemy outpost, rich asteroid, and an asteroid field. So you can see there's plenty of different things that you're going to have on this to make each of the different campaigns feel unique. The game also comes with a number of different sector tiles with the same type of cosmic events that we're going to have to deal with. And these are also double-sided, so you will have different configurations to make our games more varied. The game also comes with a number of different crew, and I'll just show you those cards here. Hey, we have Stitch. And I believe all of the artwork on the game is final, just the components that you see here are all prototype. And speaking of the artwork, just take a look at this bandit. That looks really cool. And then you'll notice that these cards are double-sided to show different states of those ships. Here's a look at some of the other cards. This is a Marauder Fighter Squadron, which shows the abilities of the ship as well as the tactics that they will employ. And I'll just kind of show you different ones that we have of those. The game is going to come with 2 books. One is a Learn to Play, which shows the setup and gives a general overview. The second is the campaign book, which will have all 10 campaigns listed.
It also has on the back of it the campaign log, so that way you can keep track of your missions, your milestones, your factions, your hero roster, and all of your other information that you might need to encounter during your campaign.
And while the 2 books may not be finalized, this will kind of give you an idea of the way that this is going to be presented. They have full color pictures and descriptions to tell you exactly what each thing does and what its characteristics are. I think this game will really appeal to those players who like games like Pathfinder because you've got a campaign and you're kind of building things on.
Kind of like gamers who like Legacy, because you're going to have your consequences in one game that will carry over to the next, and it will just continue affecting your game storyline.
Exactly. So that is our preview of Ironclad. So this will be launching on Kickstarter very soon. So this looks like a game that would be of interest to you. Check it out, and we will catch you guys next time.
Bye.
If you would like to support us, you can visit patreon.com/dadvdaughter.
Like and follow us on Facebook to stay current on our show schedule, sneak peeks at future shows, and to interact with us.